clapperboard the Labyrinth Catacombs of Paris, the vanished explorer and the city of bones. On October 14th, 2025, at 11:46 p.m., a live stream ended mid-sentence. Viewers saw a man glance behind his shoulder, then darkness. His name was Lucas Moreau. His last words, "There's a door here, but it's breathing." Beneath the boulevards of Paris runs a network of tunnels so vast, even the city engineers don't know its limits. 200 miles of darkness, carved from limestone, lined with skulls, humming with history. Insert real-style footage, panoramic tunnel shots, dripping water, bone stacks, candles. In 1785, after centuries of plague and overcrowded cemeteries, officials moved 6 million bodies underground. But they never stopped counting the dead, because sometimes they kept finding new ones. Explorers call themselves cataphiles. They slip through forgotten entrances, old sewers, subway shafts, wine cellars, chasing thrill or truth. Lucas Moreau wasn't the first, but he might be the first whose footage exposed something no one was meant to see. Would you explore the Paris Catacombs alone at midnight? Comment below. 2 hours after Lucas went silent, police received a distress call from an anonymous voice. He opened the wrong wall. The line cut. Detective Elodie Durand took the case, one of dozens marked non-critical disappearance. But when she replayed the recovered footage frame by frame, she noticed something chilling, a second shadow moving against the light, as if the darkness itself had shaped. Durand's search led to tunnel section 47B, officially closed since 1979 after a cave-in. Records show one maintenance crew never returned. Their tools were found, their bodies weren't. And the coordinates Lucas transmitted, they matched the same sealed corridor. Cut to police reports / handwritten notes / bloodstained helmet. Audience question, accident or erasure? What do you think happened to the crew of 79? At 45-minute mark, shows slow montage of tourist entrances closing. Overlay, site temporarily closed for renovation November 3rd, 2025. Officials call it maintenance. Some call it containment. Durand convinced one retired miner to guide her beneath 47B. He warned, there are rooms down there older than Paris itself. Cue, metal door grinding open. They found carvings, Latin phrases no one could translate, and skulls fused into the wall as if melted. In the center, a rusted tripod camera, Lucas Moreau's camera, still recording. Forensic tests showed the last video was recorded after Lucas's reported time of death. Someone, or something, used his equipment later. Brief segment on 18th century cults using ossuaries for initiation rites. Include map overlays, academic commentary. Adds authenticity and pacing. But the deeper mystery wasn't ritual. It was architecture. Below 47B, scanners revealed a second floor, an inverted tunnel spiral descending beyond the bedrock. A labyrinth within the catacombs. If this spiral truly exists, who built it? And why did they seal it? November 2nd, the night before the official closure. Durand entered alone with a helmet cam and a body mic. Her last transmission came at 1:17 a.m. There's a door. It's moving like lungs. Her team found only her badge and a footprint in dust. Not hers, larger, barefoot. Silence 5 seconds. The next day, Paris officially sealed the catacombs for renovation. But files from the Ministry of Culture refer to a different term. Containment Operation 47 Omega. 3 weeks later, tourists reported hearing metal echoes behind sealed doors. Maintenance crews swore they found fresh candle wax and footprints descending further than any map floor. One photo leaked online, a stone arch with an inscription, La Porte Respire. The door breathes. In spring 2026, the catacombs will reopen to the public. But some doors should never be open again. Detective Elodie Durand traced the final moments of missing explorer Lucas Morrow deep into Section 47B, a corridor sealed for nearly half a century. Her last words transmitted through static. There's a door, it's breathing. At 1 a.m., contact was lost. What followed was sealed under Operation 47 Omega, a file now classified. 2 days after the disappearance, the Paris Police Prefecture announced a temporary suspension of subterranean access. But leaked emails reveal a different motive: contamination fears, not cave-ins. Cut to digital reconstruction of tunnels. Environmental teams detected a slow, rhythmic pressure wave every 11 seconds, emanating from the collapsed corridor. It wasn't geological. Breathing pattern pressure oscillation, amplitude consistent with air displacement, not vibration. Field Report 47B3. To verify, forensic engineers lowered micro-drones through existing shafts. Footage recovered shows something extraordinary: dust pulsing on the stone surface as if the wall exhaled. Engagement text. If you saw a wall move like a lump, would you keep filming? Behind the scenes, Durand's body cam was quietly analyzed. Frame 1187 reveals a limestone surface flexing inward, then outward. But the temperature sensor drops 8 degrees in a single frame, a cold front without airflow. A human body can't create that pattern. So what can? In late October, the Ministry of Culture summoned Dr. Henri Clement, a structural biologist specializing in biomineral formations. His conclusion shocked officials: organic residue present in the limestone matrix, possible fusion of biological tissue and calcite. Tests showed traces of collagen, the protein found in human skin, embedded in the wall surface. Somehow, life and stone had intertwined. Cut to archival photos of ossuary walls. When compared to 18th century ossuary records, one entry stood out: less respirants, the breathing ones. A section noted as destroyed in 1794. Historians long dismissed it as superstition, but the pattern matches Section 47B exactly. With mounting pressure, investigators drilled a narrow borehole into the sealed chamber. What they recorded still lacks explanation. A low-frequency moan every 11 seconds, identical to the pressure rhythm. Audio suggestion: deep sub-bass pulse fading in and out. No human voice produces that frequency. November 2nd, 2025, a private team of 4 engineers, supervised by Dr. Clement, descended to open the sealed door. Cameras recorded for 23 minutes. At minute 14, a vibration rippled through the wall. One sensor captured a short exhalation: warm, moist air laced with elevated carbon dioxide. Then movement. The stone's surface softened like clay and split, releasing a dense white mist. Sound cue: hiss, heartbeat quickens. Visibility dropped to 0. Instruments spiked. Radiation? Static? Still unclear. Voices on tape whisper one phrase repeatedly: Elodie, rest. Elodie, stay. When the team resurfaced, only 3 remained conscious. One technician never regained coherence. He kept repeating a single line: "It's not behind the door." At dawn, authorities sealed Section 47B again. The operation was renamed Project Whisper. Every recording, every log file, confiscated. But one fragment leaked online: a 2-second waveform labeled Signal. When processed through acoustic software, the waveform forms a pattern strikingly similar to human speech, a whisper repeating the name Durand. Was the catacombs breathing or speaking? Next, the Whisper Protocol, the recordings that should not exist. Beneath the cobbled streets of Paris lies a network few dare to explore. A labyrinth of tunnels carved from limestone, ossuaries piled high with skulls, and centuries-old secrets of the dead. This is the story of the catacombs and of the modern journey into their darkest corners. Tonight, we recap what we know so far: the vanishing of a young explorer, the sealed tunnels, the whispers in stone. And we prepare for what comes next. In the 18th century, Paris faced a grave crisis. Its cemeteries overflowed, the dead burdened the living city. One of the largest, the Cemetery of the Innocents, had been used for hundreds of years and simply had no more room. At the same time, beneath the surface, a hidden world of abandoned quarries stretched for miles. Old limestone mines and used tunnels, a subterranean skeleton of the city. In 1774, a street collapsed above these tunnels, forcing awareness of their depth. In 1785, the Council of State authorized moving human remains into the tunnels. Starting on April 7, 1786, wagons carried the deceased into the darkness beneath the city. Over the next decades, the remains of as many as 6 million souls were interred beneath Paris. By 1809, the ossuary known today as the catacombs opened to the public. Workers had stacked femurs and skulls into walls, carving patterns of bone. The entrance still bears the inscription, eerie, say ICIL Empire de la Mort, halt. Here lies the Empire of Death. Through the 19th and 20th centuries, the tunnels shifted from ossuary to secret city. Urban explorers mapped forbidden passages. During the Paris Commune and later World War II, the underground became refuge, passage, hideout. And today, only a small section is open to visitors. The rest remains off-limits, a maze of darkness, legend, and risk. Enter Lucas Moreau, age 27, a modern explorer of the urban underground. In late 2025, he live-streamed his descent into a sealed zone labeled Section 47B beneath the catacombs. His last recorded words: "There's a door here, but it's breathing." Hours later, his camera was found near the entrance. Lucas himself vanished. Detective Elodie Durand of the Paris police took the case. The coordinates Lucas transmitted didn't match any map gallery. The corridor the records showed did not exist. Forensic engineers deployed micro-drones into existing shafts. They discovered the wall flexing like lungs, inhaling and exhaling, dust rising in pulses. The periodicity of the pulses, every 11 seconds. Environmental sensors recorded a temperature drop of 8 degrees in frame. Atmospheric readings showed no airflow, yet the movement occurred. It wasn't geological. Then came Dr. Henri Clement, structural biologist. Her tests revealed traces of human collagen embedded in the limestone. In the ossuary records was a footnote referencing a corridor called Les Respirants dating from 1794, the breathing ones. Once dismissed as myth, now matching real data. A borehole drilled into the sealed chamber captured a low-frequency moan every 11 seconds again, below the threshold of human hearing, but detectable via instrumentation. Was the rock alive, or something else within the rock? On November 2nd, 2025, a private engineering team entered the chamber under supervision. At minute 14, the limestone surface softened, split, released white mist. Cameras caught a whisper in French: "Elodie, rest, Elodie, stay." When they exited, only 3 of 4 were coherent. One repeated, "It's not behind the door, we are." The corridor was sealed once more. The files classified under Operation 47 Omega. The leak of a 2-second waveform labeled Signal E triggered a covert investigation by France's intelligence service, the DGSI. The waveform, when analyzed, produced spectrogram patterns of the word Durand at subaudible frequencies. Acoustic scientists described it as a living resonance, the rock modulating a name. Thermal imaging beneath the locked district found silhouettes behind limestone walls that appeared human-sized, Yet seismic sensors recorded nothing. Dr. Clement, reassigned, reported hearing voices in the ventilation of her lab whispering, "Under the mirror." 3 days later, she vanished. Footage ends in white noise at 3:17. The DGSI built a replica chamber in a decommissioned bunker outside Lyon. Limestone blocks from 47B embedded with microphones emitted pulses every 11 seconds. When recordings were fed back into the rock responded. On the 7th loop, the phrase changed to, "We remember you." Further tests showed DNA matching Detective Duran's belongings. Then the experiment ended abruptly. The facility was sealed. Explorers and cataphiles long told of hidden entrances, tunnels stretching beyond 150 miles underground, and unexplained disappearances. In the 1980s, a clandestine cinema was discovered beneath the catacombs. Chairs, projectors, and a bar, yet no ownership was claimed. In recent years, reports emerged of candle wax and fresh footprints in areas closed for renovation. In 2025, the official closure cited humidity and safety. But leaked memos reference containment, not renovation. The catacombs remain a living monument of death and, paradoxically, of life. Beneath a city of millions, over 6 million more lie silent. What does it mean when the stone breathes? Or calls a name? The sealed passages, the pattern of 11-second pulses, the whispers in the wall. These are more than legend. They are evidence of something unresolved. For now, the entrance stands barred, but beneath the city, the labyrinth remains. This has been a recap of the labyrinth beneath Paris, the catacombs, the explorer's disappearance, and the investigation that followed. What we have not revealed is the final truth, the breathing door, the mirror vault, the last light of Paris. Stay tuned for the next chapter. If you found this story compelling, please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to follow along. Have you ever explored the underground? Would you descend into these tunnels yourself? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, remember, some doors are never meant to be opened.